In today's video we'll be looking at dropped stitches. Before I show how to fix and avoid them, let's look at what they actually are. Here's an example of what will happen if you have a dropped stitch. The whole column starts to unravel. I recommend every 3 rows you give your knitting a little pull just to see if you have any dropped stitches. The longer you go without noticing, the harder it will be to fix. So how do we fix this? You'll need a crochet hook, the smaller the better, as this is fiddly work. I'm using a 6mm, which is a bit big to be honest, but I wanted you to be able to see what I'm doing. You can also use a latching tool. As this column has unravelled, we need to rework the stitching, and as we have the wrong side facing us, we have to purl each stitch. I start by working my way around to the drop row. We need the needle to be raised. Grab the loop where the unravelling has stopped. So here we have the starting stitch, and here we have the rungs of the ladder. We need to climb one at a time, starting at the bottom. I put my hook under the first rung and into the bottom stitch. Pull the rung behind the stitch. We need it to be on the side where the hook is, so we can grab it and then we pull it over and repeat. So grab the stitch and under the rung, through the stitch, over and over. It sounds more complicated than it is, so I'll let you watch the next few times in silence just to see the process. I would recommend doing one at a time until you get the hang of it, then you can start trying 2 or 3 at a time. It does get harder and tighter the closer to the top you get. So when we reach the top, lift the final stitch back onto the needle. My crochet hook is too big, so I'm going to use a loom pick to help me. As I said, once you start, you can fix drop stitches with a latch tool. Although this isn't my preference, I will try to explain. It is a slightly different process, and we will be latching from underneath. You want to put your tool through the last stitch. Your latch should be open. As you pull down, the latch starts to close. Grab the next rung in your ladder. Pull down as far as you can, then back up. The latch will open, make sure your stitch goes below the latch pin, and then pull back down, and as the latch is closing, grab the next stitch. This is a mesmerising process, and I do enjoy it more than the crochet hook method. However, I find getting the final stitch on the needle really difficult with the latch tool, and I also think the fix looks really obvious as the latch stitches are really small. They may block out, I guess, but I prefer to stick with the crochet hook method instead. Regardless of your tool choice, fixing drop stitches is time consuming and fiddly, so it's best to avoid drop stitches in the first place. We avoid drop stitches by making sure the yarn is hooked by the needle. You can do this by watching every stitch, and if you notice a missed needle, you can back it up a little and place the yarn under the needle. If you've gone too far and backing up will mess up with our columns, pop a stitch marker into the column and we will fix it on the next pass. So as you see, I only have a few stitches to fix and it's much quicker. You can also use a loom pick if your finger dexterity isn't the best. Another way to spot drop stitches is if you notice there are missing stitches on the pins. So this is what each pin should look like. You have the yarn wrapped around it. This pin is missing its stitch, so I know I need to do something. An empty pin may also be a sign of a tucked stitch, but if you can't see a stitch tucked under the needle, then you may have dropped one and need to latch it up. If you're getting a lot of drop stitches, check your yarn is in the yarn guide correctly. Also check the alignment of your yarn guide. Is it pushing the yarn far enough out so the needles are catching it? Yarn choice and tension are also important, so you may be interested in these videos as well. I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions about drop stitches, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll try and help. Happy knitting, see you in the next one.